Good afternoon to all. Myself S.A. Khadri, HOD Department of Commerce, Wisdom College of Commerce and Management, Sindhuru. Today we are here to discuss one of the important chapter called Banking Company Accounts, which is applicable to BCom 4th semester, Gulbarga University, Kalburgi. We should have to start one by one. Friends, as you people know aware about that, this is biggest chapter which is based on schedules and some of the important provisions. The chapter includes theory part for 2 marks and 5 marks, practical questions for 15 marks. And from this chapter, expected questions are 2 questions of 2 marks, 1 question from 5 marks and 1 question from 15 marks. Total, you are getting 24 marks from this chapter. This is very important chapter for the sake of exam and for the sake of future also. Then we are going to discuss now the meaning of the banking company, or what do you mean by a bank? A bank is a commercial institution permitted to accept, collect, transfer, lend and exchange money and claims to money both the domestically and internationally, and thereby conduct smooth banking activities. A organization which have been set up mainly for the purpose of banking activities, which collect the money in the form of deposits and lending to the needies as a form of loan, that is said to be bank. Next, come to the definition of banking companies, or what do you mean by a bank? According to Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking company means, or bank means, the accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposit of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft or otherwise. Next, let us discuss some of the main important functions of the bank. We are classifying 2 functions, mainly 2 functions, primary functions and secondary functions. That primary functions again sub-classified as 2, accepting deposits, granting advances. Then secondary functions, agency function and utility functions. In accepting deposit, under primary functions, banking is providing a service of saving the deposit, fixed deposit, current deposit, recurring deposit. Under primary function, granting advances, overdraft facility to the current account holders, cash credit facility, loan facility and discounting of bills of businessmen. Under secondary functions, agency functions, that under agency function, bank will provide a transfer of funds, periodic payments, collection of checks, portfolio management, like banker is providing the services of shares and debentures also. Shares can purchase by the bank or through the bank and sell through the bank also. Then periodic collections also. If you are having a dividend from any of the bank, any of the company, banker will collect on behalf of the customer. Then other agency function, as it may be necessary or instruction by the customer, banker is doing those kind of activity also. Then at last, under secondary function, draft facility, demand draft also created by the bank. Locker facility, safe lockers, underwriting. Means if a company fails to sell the shares to the general public, then banker is giving the guarantee for purchase of the shares from the company. That is underwriting. Then project report also a service that have been given by the bank. Social welfare programs, other utility functions. These are all the main important functions of the bank. Then here the part of main important part is final accounts of banking company. How we should have to provide. Remember one thing, according to accounting standard, every profit and loss account and balance sheet should have been complied with accounting standard. The Banking Regulation Act 1949 prescribes formats of preparing final accounts of the banking companies. The third schedule of section 29 gives form A for the balance sheet and form B for profit and loss account. Under form A, we are preparing with the balance sheet. Under form B, we are preparing with the P&L account based on vertical format. From 2011, the vertical format is compulsory. Under vertical format, we are preparing. Then balance sheet. Here balance sheet consists of total 12 schedules. Total 12 schedules. Schedule 1 to 5, which depicts capital and liabilities, which tells about capital and liabilities. Schedule 6 to Schedule 12, which tells about or depicts some of the properties and assets. Then one more item which does not have any kind of schedule, that is bills for collection. Total schedule 1 to schedule 12 related to balance sheet schedules. Next, profit and loss account. Profit and loss account of the banking company consists of 4 schedules. Schedule 13 and 14 depicts incomes and schedule 15 and 16 represents expenses, and there is no specific schedule for provisions and contingencies. Provisions and contingencies are not definite. Provisions and contingencies may be or may not be, that is depend upon the happening and non-happening of future uncertain event. Then schedule 13 and 15 related to incomes. Schedule 15, 16 and one more special item, provisions and contingencies related to expenditure of P&L account of a banking company. The next part, format and provisions. Balance sheet format as per part A. Then profit and loss account format as per part B of Schedule 3, Banking Regulation Act 1949. Both are as per the Schedule 3 of Banking Company Act 1949 based on schedule followed by workings of each and every schedule. Here you should have to remember every balance sheet. First you should have to prepare the balance sheet, next prepare the P&L account, balance sheet and P&L account. That you should have to prepare based on the schedules followed by working notes. First page of your answer should be balance sheet. Second page of your answer should be P&L account. From third page you should have to start the working notes of each and every schedule. If you are having one item of a particular schedule, then also make it a note. If you are having more items in a schedule, then also make the working notes. Then let us discuss one by one in format. See students, first the balance sheet as at mention the date. Mention the date of the balance sheet as at, either it may be the year end or it may be the calendar end. Then first part of the balance sheet, capital and liabilities. In capital, while preparing the format, you should have to make the headings of particulars, schedule column, then amount column also. Then capital and liabilities. In capital and liabilities, one by one, capital, first capital heading, that is schedule 1. Next, schedule 2 is for reserves and surplus. Schedule 3 is for deposits. Schedule 4 is for borrowings. And at last, schedule 5 is for other liabilities and provisions. Make the total of capital and liabilities. That is one part of the balance sheet. The next part of the balance sheet. Assets and properties. Second part of the balance sheet is assets and properties. That is a vertical format itself. Same here also, make the headings of particulars, schedule, then amount. Then under assets and property, cash and balance with RBI, schedule 6. Then balance with other banks and money at call and short notice are schedule 7. Investment, schedule 8. Advances, schedule 9. Fixed assets, schedule 10. Other assets, schedule 11. Then make the total of the same. Next, apart from the balance sheet, contingent liabilities. Contingent liabilities, schedule 12. Bills for collection, then that does not have any kind of schedule. Why we have been kept apart contingent liabilities and bills for collection? The reason behind that, these things are not specific. Contingent liability, the liability may be occur or may not be occur, that is depend upon the happening or non-happening of future uncertain event. Then bills for collection, until and unless that is collection have been made, you should not consider as asset. You should have to kept apart from the balance sheet itself. This is a format. First, schedule 1 to schedule 5, capital and liabilities, schedule 6 to schedule 12, that is assets and properties. Let us discuss some more things of the balance sheet or profit and loss account. The next part is part B, profit and loss account. Here very important, as we are preparing first part balance sheet, second part P&L account. Though we are preparing balance sheet first, but first you should have to prepare the work out the P&L account. Then after getting the profit only, you should have to conclude the balance sheet. Then let us discuss some of the main important aspects of the profit and loss account of a banking company. First, income part, interest earned, schedule 13, other income, schedule 14. Then make it as a total, that is income side of the P&L account of a balance sheet. Next, expenditure, interest expended, schedule 15, other incomes or operating expenditure, regular expenditure, day-to-day expenditure, recurring expenditure which comes again and again in the banking company, that is schedule 16. One more item, provisions and contingencies, does not have any kind of schedule, those also considered to be expenditure that have been kept up aside from the profit of a banking company, make the total. If total of 13 and 14th schedule is more than the 15 and 16, remember 13 and 14 for income, 15 and 16 provisions and contingencies are expenditure. If schedule 13 and 14 incomes are more than the schedule 15 and 16 expenditure, then we are getting with the net profit during the year. If schedule 13 and 14 more than the schedule 15 and 16, we are getting net profit during the year. If it is a reverse case, schedule 15 and 16 with provisions and contingencies more than the schedule 13 and 14, we are getting with the net loss. Either it may be the net profit or net loss during the year, you should have to calculate. Then add back profit brought forward. Last year profit which have been brought forward from the last year balance sheet, that you should have to add back, make the total of the same. Then after that, some more part of the P&L account. Then what we should have to do with those two profit during the year, then profit brought forward. Appropriation part, this is part of P&L account itself, appropriation part. Then what we are doing with appropriation? Appropriation means temporary transfer of funds. Transfer of funds from this year profit, where we should have to transfer this amount from the P&L account. First let us see appropriation, transfer to statutory reserve. This is compulsory for insurance companies, banking companies and electricity company by the central government itself. 25% of profit, net profit during the year. This is nowhere connected to the last year profit. What we have been make the total, then out of the net profit during the year, you should have to transfer 25% of profit, net profit during the year to the statutory reserve. The next, transfer to proposed dividend, transfer to sinking fund reserve, transfer to other reserve, transfer to dividend tax. These are all the options. Optional. But which is compulsory? Transfer to statutory reserve is compulsory. Compulsory every bank in case of loss should not transfer anything to statutory reserve fund. In case of profit during the year, then only you should have to transfer that amount to the 25% of net profit to the statutory reserve. Then after transferring the reserve, assume that only one transfer to statutory reserve, then take the total of 2 net profits, already what we have been discussed in the last slide. Then that total, out of that total, you should have to deduct transfer to statutory reserve. Assume to be last 2 profits. The profit during the year is 75 rupees. Profit brought forward is 25 rupees. Total we have 100 rupees. Then out of that 100 rupees, make the total of 100 rupees here. Then 25% of the 75 rupees. 75 rupees net profit during the year. 25% of 75 rupees transfer to statutory reserve. Then total is 100 rupees. Then after transfer of the same, the balance left, that you should have to transfer that balance to balance carried over to balance sheet. From P&L account, transfer to balance sheet. That amount transferred to balance sheet, that comes under second schedule of balance sheet. Second schedule of the balance sheet, that is the reserves and surplus. The next part, the detailed contents of the balance sheet. Before detailed content, first let us, you should have to aware about all the schedules of balance sheet and all the schedules of P&L account. In exams, those people will ask, either write the schedules of balance sheet. Any 5 schedules you should have to write for 5 marks. Or maybe the question for write the schedules of balance sheet or write the schedules of P&L account, whatever may be. If P&L account schedule, write the P&L account schedule 13, 14, 15, 16. Or balance sheet schedule, liability side of balance sheet schedules 1 to 6. Or asset side balance sheet schedule 6 to 12, whatever it may be. Balance sheet schedule will ask for 5 marks or P&L account schedules will ask for 5 marks. In next part, we are going to discuss each and every schedule, detail each and every schedule by detail. What will come in each and every schedule. Thank you one and all.